What is going on, guys? Money Webby here, back again. Fantasy football season is here. We got our drafts coming up, and we got to figure out who to take in the late rounds. Guys to be targeting, great ADP values, and with great upside that can be in your starting lineup, definitely, even though you're taking them to be like a bench spot as of like where they're being drafted. So I got some players for you at every position that are great people to be targeting. So go ahead and drop a like in the video before we get going. Greatly appreciate that, so I can keep more videos like these coming your way. Hit that subscribe button if you happen to be new here too. You can comment any suggestions on any other fantasy football draft and kind of advice, ideas you might have or want to see from this channel. So thank you if you can do that. Let's get into it though. First, we got wide receivers up. You got guys like Robbie Anderson, Danny Amendola, Anthony Miller, and Allen Hurns that you need to be looking at in your draft. So first up, Robbie Anderson was great last season, an underrated wide receiver. It has a great ability. We know he's a speed burner, can definitely stretch the defense. And now we got Sam Darnold, one of the best quarterbacks from this last year's draft, coming in here, probably going to be starting. This guy has a lot of talent. Think they're going to be running that spread type approach that they had last year with Josh McCown that produced some great numbers for Robbie Anderson. And obviously we know that Darnold is a more talented guy than McCown, so he does give some more upside to this offense here for Robbie Anderson. So I think Anderson can be a wide receiver too in that offense. Top 20 guy, great target of where he's being drafted. Next up, though, Danny Amendola. Haven't seen many people talking about him, but Amendola enters a perfect situation on this Dolphins offense at the slot wide receiver role, replacing Jarvis Landry, the guy that was just a target hog over the last few years. So if you look at his numbers this last year, though, he had 161 targets. That was the third most among wide receivers, and that gave him a 27.4% target share, which was the seventh most in all of football. And that was with Jay Cutler, who's normally not a guy that really just like throws it to the slot wide receivers. He's more of a guy that kind of chucks it down the field. But Jarvis Landry still got that work in that offense. Like Adam Gase really schemed a lot to get Jarvis Landry going. And now Danny Amendola, who entered that role. But first off, when we were kind of considering, like, what are we going to do with this Dolphins offense, you kind of thought, like, Albert Wilson and Danny Amendola, they'll kind of cancel each other out. But with the first preseason week one, we saw that Amendola got 9 out of the 11 snaps from the wide receiver position, like with the first team offense, and Albert Wilson got 0 out of 11 snaps of wide receiver. So it looks like Amendola has the firm grip on that slot wide receiver role, which kind of gives him that upside that I love here. We know Amendola, though, does have injury concerns, but he did fix that a little bit with the Patriots. Like, he didn't get banged up too much. He played like all 16 games last year. So I think he can have a big season if the health is there. We know that Jarvis Landry was also a beast in the red zone. Gase really schemed around him there. So they can use Amendola there. Even for Tom Brady, Amendola was a solid red zone option, especially in the playoffs. So I think Amendola could be a sneaky option for like 6 to 8 touchdowns if he plays all 16. So I think Amendola is a guy that could be a wide receiver 3 with wide receiver 2 upside. Crazy that I'm saying that. But with him, though, he is going like the 14th round in PPR. Oh, yeah, quick note, this is all PPR format is what I'm going to be considering here when talking over the players. So Danny Amendola, though, PPR beast in this offense if he stays healthy, and you can draft Kenny Stills alongside him, even if Amendola goes down, because that could give Stills even more upside. I do like Stills as a late-round target as well. Both those guys, I think Danny Amendola might have a slight more of an upside, and he's been going a little bit later, a few more rounds deeper. Still think Amendola, better value, but both great options. But third up, Anthony Miller here, the rookie coming in. And he's not your normal rookie wide receiver. The guy's 23 years old, turning 24 in October, and he is a very well-rounded NFL-ready game. He can run a lot of different routes, a very good route runner, kind of been turning heads in training camp, seeing reports all over everywhere about him, how good he's looked, and now he's already locked down the slot wide receiver role in this Bears offense. We got a new offensive system coming in here for the Bears. John Fox was just an absolute idiot with that team. So Matt Nagy got some fresh blood in this offense, can definitely rejuvenate a team. And we've seen over the last few years, like new offensive systems that come in with a new team really get it going in their first year, as we saw with Sean McVay last year. We know that with Kyle Shanahan, he really burst on the scene. Chip Kelly even had a huge first year. So these new offensive kind of schemes and new offensive approaches can definitely give some good fantasy value. So I think Anthony Miller He's definitely a guy to consider. I loved his college tape. He reminded me a little bit of Antonio Brown, as crazy as that sounds, but he did kind of give you that same kind of feel to his game. Kind of an undersized guy that has a lot of fight in him. He has a ton of confidence, and like I said, he's NFL ready. He has 3 years of college under his belt where he put up huge numbers. So I think Anthony Miller, great value. And for my last guy, Allen Hurns, we know that Michael Gallup has been kind of getting more of that buzz because he's that flashy kind of rookie option that just got a nice touchdown in the preseason week 1. But that touchdown was kind of like a little bit over, kind of, I don't know, drawn out, I guess, because the cornerback just had terrible coverage on that route. But Allen Hurns, I think he's more of the go-to guy in this offense. He'll be that kind of like out wide / slot guy that's just the move the chains guy. And Dak Prescott, I think he's going to have a lot of trust with him. So Allen Hurns, a great option here. I think he can see over 100 targets. And another offense that's losing a lot of targets in 2017 with Dez Bryant and Jason Witten gone. So they need someone to fill that void. And Allen Hurns is a great player when he is healthy, so a great option late in your draft. So that is it for wide receiver. But running back, we got to figure out who to go late here. And here are some guys that can give you some great upside. Sony Michel, Aaron Jones, Chris Thompson, and Matt Breida. So first up, Sony Michel, the guy was a first-round draft pick. But after he got hurt with this little knee drain, I guess everyone thought he was like, just wrote him off. They're like, forget Sony Michel. Rex Burkhead is the answer for this Patriots backfield. But I think that Sony Michel is the better player and can do more in this offense here. Can fill more of that Dion Lewis role that we've come to love over the last few years. So in this offense, he's going to be probably behind Rex Burkhead, like similar to Dion Lewis was behind Mike Gillislee and even Rex Burkhead last year. So he's going to be the forgotten man. He was at the 5th round of ADP a few weeks ago, but now he's down to the 7th round, might even trend even more down because that thing is like a steep slope going down with this ADP chart. So a guy that I love, very talented, coming out of Georgia. He was very effective there, and Georgia running backs do have a good success rate. So I think Sony Michel can be a great option, kind of reminiscent of Dion Lewis last year and Alvin Kamara, guys that could be buried in the depth chart, or he could be buried in the depth chart similar to Kamara and Dion Lewis, but just kind of win out with that talent and give you that good upside in one of the best offenses of football. So Sony Michel, great option. Aaron Jones next up, similar. He's going to be entering a 2-week suspension, but I think he's the most talented guy in that backfield. Another great offense. So that's kind of where you get your upside at running back, is targeting guys with great offenses that can give them a lot of touchdowns, and just in murky looking backfields that you're not really sure who's going to be winning the job, but you kind of can pinpoint some of these guys, I think, like Aaron Jones and Sony Michel. So those kind of fit the script of guys that can give you a lot of value later in drafts. So I think both those guys, good options. And then Matt Breida, he's going to be filling that Tevin Coleman-esque role in this Kyle Shanahan offense that produced good fantasy numbers, even though he wasn't the lead back. He was the running back 19 in 2016 with that great Falcons offense, and Jerick McKinnon is going to be in front of him. I don't think Jerick McKinnon is as good of a player as Devontae Freeman, so Breida honestly has more upside for touches in this offense. He might not be able to score as much as Tevin Coleman did, but Jerick McKinnon has been pretty damn inefficient as a runner and as a lead dog in his NFL career. So I'm not sure if Kyle Shanahan's going to be able to get that going for him, but Matt Breida is a guy that impressed me with what he did last year, and he could turn this into a 60-40 split and can give that get that great ability. We know that Shanahan loves to target the running backs out of the backfield, so I think he can get around 30 to maybe even upwards of 40 catches out of that backfield. So Matt Breida, a guy with RB3 ability, and could be a late or more of a late RB2, not late, but deep RB2 or lower RB2, I'm trying to say. So Chris Thompson, though, my last guy, he's going to be trending up a little bit since Darius Geis went out. But Chris Thompson, I think he's going to be a PPR beast, get a lot of catches, and he's already in training camp. He is coming off that injury from last year, which got some people concerned. But the fact that he's already in training camp, going through the motions, kind of shaking off that rust, I think he'll be ready to go week 1 and ready to produce. He's going to be competing with guys like Fat Rob and Samaje Perine, who were terrible last year and the year before that. So I think Chris Thompson will give him a nice spark out of the backfield. We know that Alex Smith loves to throw it down to the running backs, check it down, that intermediate stuff. So another great option with RB2 upside in PPR. So that is it for the running backs. Now on to the tight end position. You got some guys going way too late that have great upside in their offenses. Jordan Reed, Eric Ebron, and Ricky Seals-Jones. I think Seals-Jones definitely has the lowest upside by far, but can still give you tight end one production if he can put it all together and has the opportunity to do so in that offense. So first up, though, Jordan Reed, not much to it. If he stays healthy, he's going to be great. He's a top 5 tight end in the league when he's healthy, and he's not giving that same amount of risk that we've seen over the last few years because his draft price was so high, but now he's going like past the 10th round. So that risk is out of the window, and you're just taking all that upside upon you. And you can pair him with Vernon Davis. So if Jordan Reed goes out, you're getting a tight end one when Vernon Davis enters in that offense. So I like that combo there. And with Darius Geis out for the season, they're going to be more pass heavy, I think. Rely more on that pass game, and he's a great option. So for Eric Ebron, though, another guy that I haven't seen anyone really talk about except myself. So if he goes off, I'm going to be very excited. But Eric Ebron in this offense, he's entering one of the best tight end friendly offenses in all of the NFL with head coach and kind of pretty much offensive coordinator Frank Reich here, who utilizes the tight end a ton in his offenses. In 2014, when he was the OC for the Chargers, 34-year-old Antonio Gates had a huge season. He was the tight end 3 in all football. And then Zach Ertz last year was the tight end 3 in all football. So really good production there. He loves to utilize the tight ends in different ways and kind of give him great matchups, like split him out wide, just put him in the slot, kind of give him matchups where he can score in the red zone and stuff like that. And they don't really have many red zone options with T.Y. Hilton, Ryan Grant, who's an undersized wide receiver, and Jack Doyle, who doesn't have much talent. He's just kind of a guy that gets the job done. So I think Eric Ebron can take this offense to new heights and can be a great red zone option and just get great matchups with how Frank Reich utilizes tight ends historically in his offense. So, and he's been like loving this guy. Every quote I see with Reich on Eric Ebron is this kind of mouth-watering over his ability and how he can be a great fit in this offense. And I read something that Peyton Manning was like showing him stats that get Eric Ebron on the team. So if Peyton Manning's given speeches to Eric Ebron why he should join the Colts, I think he's going to be pretty important in this offense. So Ebron, great upside in that offense. He's not even being drafted in the top 12 rounds. So a guy that's being slept on way too much. Go and get him in your drafts. And for the quarterback position, you got Big Ben, Patty Mahomes, and Andrew Luck here. So Big Ben was great last season, underrated season. From week six on, he was the quarterback 4 in all of fantasy football. And also without Ryan Shazier, their defense is going to be worse. So they're going to be probably more pass heavy if they get behind in games, because other offenses is going to be probably running it down their throat and scoring at ease for the most part, because I think that Steelers defense is pretty suspect as of now. So Big Ben can easily be a top 6 quarterback this season with a great offense. You got guys like Juju Smith-Schuster, a great young wide receiver, Antonio Brown, best wide receiver in football, and Le'Veon Bell, one of the best receiving backs in all football. So Big Ben, great upside there, going way too late. Then Patrick Mahomes, a great talent here. He can sling the ball like 100 yards. He can run on the ground. He can get some rushing yards there. In this Chiefs offense, they have probably one of the best weapons group in all of NFL with Kareem Hunt, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, and Sammy Watkins. And also they're getting Spencer Ware back to get some more talent in that offense. So just a great targets just to give him a ton of production. Like I said, he does have that upside with the rushing yards, so I think he can have a huge year. Chiefs defense, very bad, very suspect. Alex Smith was the quarterback 4 last year with a better defense and worse weapons. So I think Mahomes definitely has top 6 quarterback upside alongside Big Ben. And then you got Andrew Luck. We know he's a great quarterback, another bad defense. And the Colts' run game has never been there over the last couple of years. I think they're going to try to get the run game going a little bit more, but I don't expect it to be too great. I think Andrew Luck's going to be putting the team on his back like we're accustomed to. And honestly, this Colts offense does have good upside if Eric Ebron becomes that guy that he was supposed to be. entering the NFL. So if Eric Ebron can be that kind of like Antonio Gates role player as he was for the Chargers like in 2014, and then you got Jack Doyle kind of being that secondary guy that can be a little bit of a move the chains guy. T.Y. Hilton, a great wide receiver. Ryan Grant, not great, but I think Eric Ebron can bring that offense to a new height and give Andrew Luck some upside. Luck can run the ball on the ground a little bit with his legs, so another guy that can easily be a quarterback one with top 6 upside. So all of these guys not investing much at all, and this great ADP value. So that is it that I have, though. You got your quarterbacks, tight ends, wide receivers, and running back targets for the year. So drop a like in the video if you did enjoy it. Let's try to get over 80 likes on this one if we can hit that. Thank you so much. Also, subscribe if you happen to be new here to get these videos for the remainder of the fantasy football season. You can comment any ideas for fantasy football videos, like I said before. So good luck this year. If you guys don't watch any more videos, you can follow me on Twitter at MoneyWebby for any other thoughts on fantasy football, maybe some stats I'll tweet out and stuff like that. And you can ask me any questions you might have before your drafts. So good luck in your drafts if I don't upload another video before your draft, and we'll see you back here again next time.